Hey guys, Christian Torres here, better yet, Bitcoin Torres. It's been a long time since I've been back. So I'm back. I'm back. And I'm back from peer to peer and crypto to building CipherOS, which is a artificial intelligence operating system. Sounds cliche, but I've I've honestly surprised myself because I completely, shrugged crypto the past few months and have dived heads deep into AI, and I think it's going to be the future. And it's perfect because I have over 10 years of crypto experience, and I'm going to be able to pair that up and meet in the middle with it. But I think what's going on right now is probably the most um, important. It's a renaissance period, right? So, so yeah, I want to talk about like artificial intelligence and how I use it as an operator. So I've noticed a lot of people, or myself mainly, when I started using artificial intelligence, like anybody else, you start on ChatGPT, maybe you use a little Grok and Gemini, and Claude as well, and just start chatting with it. But then you get advanced, right? And you install Cursor, or you you get into the CLI, you get into the terminal. Just a few days ago, the creator of Claude, he mentioned he has like five terminals and five Claude codes. So, you know, um, I figured, I've been in the low, and I've been building, and I've built my own IDE. I've built my own voice AI system, not a voice agent yet, but like a voice tool calling system, and I'm about to show you guys. And yeah, I'm reviving back the channel, reviving back the channel. I changed it from Dollar Cryptos. I changed it to Bitcoin Torres, or my name, Christian Torres. And yeah, just gonna be talking about the stuff I'm doing. And I'm like fully committed with AI to the point where I just like I shrugged crypto completely. I just like dude, crypto was something for me, especially the meme coin market. I've hit off so many meme coins, and I would be one of those guys that would just stare at the screen and like advanced searching and X and just everywhere the wallets and coins, and I would constantly have a bunch of tabs, and I just completely pivoted to AI just fully. And um I found and I started having so many ideas, an idea here, an idea here. Oh, I can just do this. I can like create my own stuff. And then I realized that there isn't really the AI tools exist, but there's no what do you call it? There's no harness. Who said that? Alex Karp, the CEO of Palantir. He said there isn't a harness that like whoever can harness themselves with crypto, and surround themselves with crypto will win. That was powerful, dude. I like that guy. I like that guy. Anyways, so I've been harnessing myself with AI because I have so many ideas. It's crazy. I have to do it all. So what how can I harness myself around AI to do it all, and to do crypto as well, and like even everything I do, everything I do, from just absolutely everything. I want to develop everything for myself. Um, this ties in with business. This ties in as a developer that I've become, or you can call it an advanced vibe coder. I made like a little name for myself in a secondary Instagram account. I made the bed dev. Like that's the future we're heading in. Just people are gonna be in their bed or at home, and they're gonna be interacting with AI depending on what kind of level they're at, advanced with super harnessed ways to use AI, or just like how I was a year and a half ago, where I would start a chat and I'd type in a message and I'd receive this big long reply, and like I'd read through it halfway, or I'd read through it fully, and it's probably not, but I'd probably send a second message and I'd be done with it, or I'd generate an image or something to try and make a meme coin, when, like, even though I'm not a meme coin creator, I was like, hey, let me try to do this. So I started that's kind of what got me started. I was like, okay, I have this idea for a meme coin. I see so many people creating meme coins, and Pump Fund gives 50% creator rewards, and so hey, I'm gonna give it a try. uh Here's my idea, here's this image, and then you like start thinking like, wait, okay, how do I automate this? How do I automate this whole process? And then you just get so deep into it, you get completely, and this is what happened to me. I completely pivoted away from crypto, and just realized that AI is the future, right? So, um, yeah, this is sort of like an intro video, and I'm gonna screen share. I have so many tabs open here. I don't know. Um, Screw it. I'm just gonna open it and give me a second. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody can relate. I'm just gonna open it up on this random tab. Let's see. I'm using. Okay. Oh shit. All right, there we go. Okay. So, um, as you guys can see, you guys see this floating thing here? Well, this is part of my arsenal as I use artificial intelligence on the daily. And ignore this stuff in the back. This is a pretty cool tool, by the way. It's called AI Studio, but basically it's an advanced Gemini.com chat. You can modify the temperature. So like the temperature, for example, uh, the lower, the more code focused it is, and if you bring it all the way up to one or whatever, just like creative and stuff like that. Um, So right now I'm like in this, I'm doing a technical implementation for some stuff with audio, right? I'm doing an audio implementation. Uh, it's pretty cool. I can probably show you guys. Probably not. It's not that complete yet. But anyways, I want to show you guys my prime AI tool that I use, and why not showcase it with an example. So right now, I just activated my recording, and I'm basically recording my voice. And the engine behind this thing is it's a Rust engine, and so basically everything I've said has been recorded, and I've tweaked it so it can be as instant as possible. So I'm about to stop the recording you guys are about to see. So I'll give it, there we go. Look at that. It captured everything I said perfectly. And this is something, because it got to a point where I was let me go back to, there you go. So it got to a point where I was using AI so much. I had so many chats open. I still do, as you guys have seen. You guys haven't even seen my CLI setup because I've made my own IDE to trade and or to code, to advance vibe code, could call it that. I don't like the term vibe code. I mean, it's it's accurate, but like it feels like shunned upon, like because it's just the future, the advancement of software developing, and it's just the slang vibe code is just like it's not accurate. I don't feel like it represents because you're just leveraging genius to build, right? Right, and of course you can do it carelessly and fail, and but you can. It's just a different tool, right? And this comes down to how you can harness yourself. So what you guys just saw was something that I determined. Well, honestly, it's a funny story. I'll say the story real quick. But I had family visiting, and I have a family from Colombia and the U.S. and uh, well, my stepdad's American, and I had Colombian family come over. My aunt's um, boyfriend came over, and my stepdad and him can't really communicate because my stepdad's English and my aunt's boyfriend is Spanish. So they had bought this like headset, and it came with an app over $100, and they started using it, and it was so out of sync. It was so slow. It was so broken. I would totally say the name of this app, but I forgot. I forgot. But anyways, time was running up. They were here for like a week or 10 days, and I was like, and I feel like I can like do anything. So I was like, let me just build some of that stuff up better. Just connect an API and just do the app. And and then like I started building it, and I was like, wait, okay, so how about I do it to where they can both connect from his phone from their either phone, right? And then I was like, wait a second, let me add a voice in there to like so he can hear, so my stepdad can hear in English the translation, my aunt's boyfriend can hear the translation in Spanish, and I just like got tangled deep in that. And anyways, I like the day that my family was leaving to Colombia, I like managed to on the Google GCP server, I managed to like stream the open source voice model, um, um, and it was like broken. And then I figured out I had to have like a load balancer to because of the streams. There's problems with the IPs, just all of this, and I like all of that was constant back and forth with AI, back and forth, back and forth. Anyways, I failed, right? They left, and anyways, that repository, let's call it repository or project, because all of these ideas eventually are become either a repository, a project, or for newbies like I was in myself, a chat on in the user interface. Because eventually you'll get down into the CLI, and that's where that's it's really powerful, right? And anyways, on I moved on with my next idea and challenge, and that's kind of where how I've been going at it for months now. So not to get so I kind of like made that story a little longer than expected, but that's how this cipher came to mind. Let me see. That's how Cipher came to mind, and Uh, it's really useful. It's really useful. And okay, so CLI. Uh, well, my server is just my server is super secure, so I don't really care. I'll show it anyways. It's pr privacy and security is you as you build, focus a little bit on privacy and security. Make your setup secure your firewalls. I didn't know any of this stuff, like AI is the best tool for you to do all this. So, anyways, okay, I'm loading here. So, anyways, I'm about to show you guys my IDE. So, I pretty much forked an IDE and I completely customized it because I realized I use the CLI and terminal a lot. I don't use cursor anymore. Um, Let me open it up. It's been forever, and I'll show you guys why I don't really use cursor anymore. Because look here, like you're gonna have many ideas, you're gonna have many chats, and it's it's this really isn't organized right here, right? You're so like at first when I started using this, I would start off the chat, with the name of the repository and the engineer, so I could reference to it whenever I'd open a chat. And then I realized like I never like come here other than the .env when you add secrets, your API keys and all that. And when you add your secrets in here, like that's the only time when I use it. But that's real estate space for somebody that has many ideas, and I believe everybody that's going to be using AI tools is going to have many ideas in the future applications that are going to come upon in this year 2026 are just going to it's going to be about harnessing this wave, this ongoing wave, because it's happening right now. Like it's we're in the midst of it, this renaissance period. um so harnessing, right? Everybody's All these tools are for harnessing, but for me, cursor was a bit limiting, and yeah, I could just simply I could just simply so it's funny, like the little logo here in cursor is different because I did two of them. I did two so that I can have multiple windows of cursors, because they're kind of limited. Like if you have two CLI, in my case, I use Codex. I've had a great experience with Codex. I have I have tried out Claude Code a little bit, and in my respects, it's pretty good. But I'm heads deep in with Codex, and I've had a great experience. And I've used Gemini CLI as well. I like Gemini for the user interface, the design, Codex for like the hardcore complex coding, and uh, but at the end of the day, it depends on you on how you interact and guide. So one thing Cursor is good for is that their back end, they have their back end system prompts of how to, receive a user's input, and, and tell the AI to make sure you cross check here, make sure you cross check here, and don't mess up the user's idea, right? When you're in CLI, you're doing pure code. I still haven't shown you guys my. Oh yeah, I have the CLI back here. But anyways, yeah, I've moved on from Cursor. It's been almost a month now. I've been on my own IDE for a month, and yeah, I've hardwired it to a point. Codex menu is another great one, and it solves the issue with um, your chats in the CLI. It completely solves it. Now, let me just show you guys what I mean. So here's Codex menu. So basically, I like to see. So each of these chats are called a session. They're called a session, and they all have session IDs. And if you want to, when you start a chat in your CLI, it generates a session ID. It saves in your Codex files, or if it's Claude in your Claude files, or if it's Gemini in the Gemini files, it saves it. Each company in a different way, right? So, as you can see here, I put Gemini. I'm mainly have edited the user interface for Codex, but anyways, I would like to name my chats, and more so than that, they hold context in a specific realm, which is which pertains to whatever repository I'm in, for example. So SRE Ops, this is my site reliability operations engineer, and yeah. So let me just show you. For example, I can click launch here, and boom, it launches me right into the um the most recent um chat where I was at, right? So, and look, here's where like the voice is useful for me, because I can be like, "Hey, explain what you mean here," you know, and just send that right off, instead of like thinking, of this and this and this, and um, and then like losing a train of thought that I had here. But instead, I can just like completely capture it. And check out something really cool. Check out something really cool. I can highlight this, and I can just do this. Run. Check this out. Nope. Hold on. Run. There we go. I just deployed. Or no. So, all right, that's just a little bug, but you get the point. This is like a very unusual type of command. But if it was like a different type of command, I could just do it, and it would run it. So that's kind of like, and this is actually good this happened live. Like that's a part of the like, me personally, I know, like, I'd open up the correct engineer for this little bug. I'd I'd compile up the context in a strategic way. I'd I'd use the recording to explain what happened with my voice, and direct a fix. I'd use these harness tools and fix that. Because that's something, you know that's actually something really annoying when you use CLIs, is like, the idea is to like, okay, please, you go ahead and do it, just do an extended timeout. um so let's just send that. Let's just get him to do it. The idea is for them to do it. I'm like in the middle of like testing. I'm like testing something and doing logs. So I personally need to do it. But yeah, you can just literally get them to do a deployment. in this case Codex, my SRE ops. But look, I don't even use this terminal. Why am I using this? Like my SRE ops guy is right here. So here's my other SRE principal, and I just load him in, and notice how I have it with colors. Um, I've literally binded. I can like close this out right now. I can close that out and open it. Open my preset, and there we go. All the terminals are back where they're at. I even have an engineer here. Um, you know, tell me how it's looking like right now. How it's looking like right now. And he's trained to know how to search all my stuff, and I'm pretty sure, you know, as you're building and you have local servers and you have local processes like this codex menu here is uh, it's integrated with my IDE, as you can see, like it's integrated. So they connect via APIs and whatnot. Anyways, you know, you start getting into hardware, right? So the point of all this is your idea as you start using AI is over here, it's over here. You do this and then that, and oh, your computer's heating up. You need to check up what processes could be heating up your computer. Um, you have a call and a big idea. You want to document it. Um, put it in your backlog. Everybody has their backlog, right? It could be like a notes on their iPhone, or it could be, um, in many different places. So, um, yeah, the, so that's where I've been in the past few months, completely to a point where I'm not even thinking about crypto, but I do think of it at the back of my head, and I have this repository actually. So I'm working on a it's kind of like why I got into AI was because I wanted to automate a lot of my experience. You know, I've gotten very lucky over the past few years in investing in crypto, not just peer-to-peer finance. And it turns out all of these processes that I do, I can turn them into code, and I can turn that code into artificial intelligence operators and a system of orchestration, basically. And I can leverage that and I can make money, or I can make software that will help me make that money, or I can provide services. I can do a lot of things. So at the end of the day, I really think, and it comes down to what Alex Karp said in that one video. Um, he said the winners will be the ones that harness AI completely. Those will win. So uh, hey, nothing's a challenge with me. Uh, I figured out a way, I greased through it, and advanced all the way to CLIs. I made my uh, what do you call it? I made my advanced CLI thing. I can have multiple tabs. What did this engineer? Okay, it failed because. All right, that's just something I'm gonna have to diagnose, and that is what AI is about, right? So, anyways, um, yeah, I have a lot of cool. So let me show you another little thing about um, Cipher, CipherOS or whatever. Um, is I'm gonna turn this thing into chat. It doesn't work right now. It's disconnected. But the whole point of this is gonna be my orchestrator. This is gonna be my Jarvis, and he's gonna orchestrate with me all of my engineers, right? So it's all going to be interconnected. This is going to be an operating system. And what that's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to tackle all of my projects. I have many, many projects, hence many, many engineers. And this is just something you cannot do on Cursor. And I feel like it's the old way of doing things. They've advanced the VS Code. I mean, like this IDE is great. I'm not trying to shun upon it, but I built something that um, is for me. Is something that I can harness into. Something that will allow me to um, exponentially, grow and work parallel with my ideas. And and yeah, so if you stay stuck around and watched, I appreciate it. I will be chunking out many more videos because this wasn't planned at all. This is just me. I have a lot of ideas, and expect to hear stuff about artificial intelligence optimization, orchestration, systems, workflows, um, crypto as well. Of course, you gotta make money in this world. You can't be smart and be poor, right? You gotta make money, right? So I think crypto is gonna be a great opportunity. It always has been, honestly. I've been in crypto for over 10 years, and it's always been. I've lived independently. I've lived a fabulous life in Colombia. Uh, Gone to restaurants and Airbnb and flying from a city to another and going to the gym and like just trading off of my phone, and it's just the lifestyle, right? But you got to accept the fact that AI will change it all, right? So you need to bring AI into your lifestyle or into the lifestyle you want, right? So I can already envision. uh, I'm doing this because I envision my lifestyle completely integrated and harnessed in with AI to the point where I thought further ahead of the confinement of accepting the fact that I have to use the IDE format or the user interface of an IDE, where at max I'll have a chat here and a chat here, and I have to like click and open a terminal in my CLI, and I just like constantly be having to click here and there, click here and there, click here and there. So I was like, I have so many ideas. I need to adapt to my ideas because the technology now allows you to, and that is this Renaissance period. So thank you for watching, and for the next one, it's January 12th, so I'll be making plenty more. Just stay tuned, and I'll post some details if you want to get in touch with me. I offer uh, consulting of sorts. I'll look into your AI system, or I'll help you do an implementation, or maybe a little like beta access or something like that to my software, although it's kind of in the middle of development. I have I have staging and development. But yeah, I do plan. There's a lot of things, and then there's my Rust Sniper repository or project or platform, whatever you want to call it. I like repository because that's the language I use with codexes. But anyways, thank you for watching. Bitcoin Torres here, or Christian Torres. You know, be prepared for this next era.